Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching The Nation at 5 with me, Anusha Soni. Our top focus this hour. Well, it's a major development. Mr. Sharad Pawar, a political veteran called the Chanakya of the opposition camp, stepped down from his position within the party president. Well, yes, there's a lot of pressure from within the party, and of course his allies as well want him to reconsider the decision. Whether Mr. Sharad Pawar will do that or not is a million-dollar question. The next two questions are that what kind of effect does it really have on the Mahavikas Aghadi and the opposition unity ahead of 2024? All that we discuss at the Nation at 5.
की आपण सगळे एकत्रित पक्षात काम करणार आहोत. मी फक्त पदावर वाजू तुमच्या बसून मी वाजूला नाही. तुमच्या सगळ्या कामाला कार्यक्रमाला तुमच्या बरोबर आहे.
Well, ahead of 2024 Lok Sabha polls, Sharad Pawar, during the launch of his memoir, made a big announcement that he will step down as the NCP president. Mr. Pawar further said that he will continue working in the political, social and cultural life henceforth. After this announcement, NCP workers present at the venue started chanting slogans that Mr. Sharad Pawar should reconsider. They also urged him not to quit as the party chief. Now a committee including Praful Patel, Sunil Tatkare, Ajit Pawar, Jayant Patil is to be appointed to decide who will handle the responsibility. Remember, this comes amid rumours of Ajit Pawar being unhappy within the party. Speculations rife that he may quit the party and break the ranks. Ajit Pawar had later refuted all these speculations and called them unsubstantial. Throughout the day, we have had a slew of political voices coming in on the story. Listen in.
परंतु कधी काळानुरूप काही निर्णय घ्यावे लागतात आणि साहेबांच्या डोळ्यात एकच नवीन होणारा अध्यक्ष तयार झाला तर तुम्हाला का नको रे.
त्यांनी परस्पर असा निर्णय घेण्याचा त्यांना कोणताही अधिकार नाही. त्यांनी असा निर्णय घेणं आम्हाला कुणालाही आणि देशातल्या कुठल्याही माणसांना मान्य होणार नाही.
साहेब आपले साहेबच आहे. त्यांच्या विचारश्रेणीला आपण काही तुलना करू शकत नाही. जे काही ते बोलले ते योग्य बोलले असं आम्हाला कोणालाही वाटत नाही. पण माझी साहेबांना विनंती आहे की किमान त्यांनी या निर्णयाचा फेरविचार करावा.
शरद पवार जी हमें लगते थे कि आखिरी सांस तक वो सामाजिक और राजकीय जीवन में रहेंगे, लेकिन इसमें एमवीए को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. जो भी राष्ट्रवादी के जो उनके पार्टी के अंतर्गत जो भी डिसाइड होगा उसके अंतर्गत जो भी अध्यक्ष बनेंगे वो एमवीए के साथ रहेंगे.
Well, you heard the various political voices coming in, and of course there are various leaders from different political parties, especially who've been a part of the Mahavikas Aghadi, saying Mr. Sharad Pawar should reconsider. Well, what does it hold for the NCP, and what the repercussions of it are going to be on the larger alliance in the state of Maharashtra? Mr. Majid Memon, who is a former Rajya Sabha MP and currently the leader of the TMC, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Memon, good evening. Thank you so much for speaking with us. A big decision by Mr. Sharad Pawar. There is still pressure on him to reconsider, to change his mind. Your first thoughts on him stepping down? He's a veteran leader. It holds a lot of significance, especially for the opposition parties.
This declaration of Sharad Pawar's quitting NCP chief's position has indeed created some waves in Maharashtra politics. It's like some tremor. And this has come at such a time when the political situation is in a very fluid state, in the sense that very soon we are expecting a very important decision from Supreme Court with regard to the fate of the current Shinde government. Because you see, what has been talked about in the last few days in anticipation of Supreme Court verdict, that probably Supreme Court is all set to disqualify the group which broke from Shiva Sena and joined Shinde. And in that event, the government would fall because BJP will run the shortage of 20 or thereabout MLAs for getting majority in 288 Vidhan Sabha Assembly. And therefore, you see, there is something cooking as though the BJP in Maharashtra, and with the blessings of the central leaders like the Home Minister and the Honorable Prime Minister, that probably they are wanting to have some kind of an alternate arrangement in order to avoid president rule, or in order to avoid the government slipping out of BJP's hand.
Yeah. But sir, there's no denying the fact that there has been internal fighting within the NCP. I mean, we can talk about the external factors, but there were strong rumors that Ajit Pawar could break the ranks, he could join hands with the BJP. Do you believe this internal infighting is the reason why Mr. Pawar took this huge decision?
So let me also make it very clear that for the last 1 week or thereabout, we have been hearing that Ajit Pawar is too ambitious to become chief minister at this juncture. And there were some of his followers had displayed certain posters also, that the best chief minister and the next chief minister is Ajit Pawar. Now that is possible only before 2024's general elections of the assembly. If any possibility of Ajit Pawar becoming chief minister, it is only possible if BJP is with them, because BJP has 100 plus MLAs and only they can form the government. Nobody else, because three other factions like Congress, NCP or Shiva Sena or Shiv Sena too, you see, individually has nowhere near forming government. So BJP is the principal party, and with whom would BJP form the next government in case Shinde government falls? And if Ajit Pawar is aspiring to become chief minister, the only conclusion is that probably Ajit Pawar is all set to break NCP or compel the whole NCP to join hands with BJP, which I, in my personal view, Sharad Pawar may not have approved of. And this is probably the reason why there appears to be some kind of a rift between the uncle and the nephew. And Sharad Pawar may have taken this decision on account of this.
Sir, beyond the politics of Maharashtra, Mr. Sharad Pawar also has a huge national role as far as opposition parties are concerned, as I said earlier. And the veteran leader is a huge factor to bring the opposition parties together. If you talk about the much talked about opposition unity, he has a huge role to play in the run-up to 2024. Will this stepping down send a message that he is on a shaky ground within his own party?
Now see, Sharad Pawar has made it clear that he is stepping down as the head of NCP, but not retiring from politics. Now, this certainly is a brighter side of the development, because then probably Sharad Pawar would be fully available for the purposes of efforts of unification of all non-BJP parties. And that certainly would be an advantage to non-BJP group, including Congress and all other parties, to fight BJP in 2024. Sharad Pawar would be in a position to give full time for the purposes of bringing all the non-BJP fractions together and fight BJP in 2024. But then these are all our expectations. One does not know how Sharad Pawar would be now coming out in public life once he continues to be in power. And in fact, you see, the country needs him. He is a very matured, senior, experienced politician. He's a statesman with wisdom, knowledge, experience, and statesmanship, which is required to save democracy when we are fighting BJP now in 2024. So if Sharad Pawar can give give this greater time, greater effort for the purposes of fighting BJP in 2024, I believe this is a welcome step.
All right, sir. Let's see how that really pans out, and all eyes on that crucial judgment from the Supreme Court that you mentioned in the beginning. Thank you, Mr. Majid Memon, for sparing time and joining us on the broadcast. We're shifting our focus. The Battle of Karnataka. You have Home Minister Amit Shah, who's holding a rally in the city of Bengaluru. Well, this is a road show. You've seen the Union Home Minister Amit Shah hitting different cities of the state of Karnataka. Earlier, he had focused on the old Mysuru region. We have seen him hold road shows in different parts of the state, especially where the candidates are new. The BJP not only trying to expand and retain its foothold in the coastal parts of Karnataka or the urban pockets like the city of Bengaluru, but there's been a huge thrust to expand its voter base in the old city of Mysuru, which many experts say are going to be very important. Bengaluru. Urban centers, cities are one of the key areas where BJP has a stronghold. This is the stronghold they would want to maintain. Not to forget, there have been multiple civic issues that have been spoken of. Bengaluru as a city has faced a lot of issue. Many of the opposition leaders have spoken about the anti-incumbency factor. While taking on all of those arguments, you have Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who's campaigning in the city of Bengaluru. The message which is being taken is about development. It's also about the double engine ki sarkar. The visuals on your screen live from the city of Bengaluru. As far as the narrative is concerned, the BJP not just has focused upon the welfare schemes, giving response to what the Congress Party had offered. The argument of the BJP has been that while the Congress Party is talking about unfocused, untargeted freebies, which only serve to lure the voters, the plan of the BJP is more welfaristic in nature. And that's what we are offering voters. As far as the city of Bengaluru is concerned, there are tall promises that have been made by the BJP to bring in more investment. You've had the Chief Minister Basuraj Bommai taking the lead and saying that Bengaluru, the IT capital of the country, will become and will continue to remain the investment hub and all kind of ecosystem, whether it's the clearances, whether it's the right infrastructure, all of that is going to be provided. Well, the visuals on your screen right now from the city of Bengaluru, you have heard Home Minister Amit Shah as far as his line and his approach in these elections is concerned. Not only the fact that he's spoken on development, on the multiple other issues that the opposition parties have raised, but the critical issue of Muslim reservation, the important issue of ensuring that the Lingayats, the Vokaliggas, the two crucial vote banks within the state are on the side of the BJP. To what extent will that be successful? Only 13th of May is going to tell us. But these are the critical issues he's spoken about. The party's narrative is also not devoid of pointing out that how the Congress or the JDS continues to harp on the policy of appeasement, and it's only the BJP that has spoken about the development narrative. The chants of Jai Shri Ram, the chants of hailing Prime Minister Modi, all of that tells you what the mood and color of campaigning really is like right now. My colleague Harish Upadhyay with us on the broadcast. Harish, tell us about this roadshow in Bengaluru, this rally in Bengaluru.
Well, it's an important rally for the BJP. It's in a belt where the Congress has a substantial presence and is strong. Parts of it is in BTM layout that's represented by Ramlinga Reddy, senior leader of the Congress who's managed to win that constituency multiple times. At the same time, the neighboring constituency is with the BJP. Satish Reddy of the BJP has it. But it's an area that has Congress and the BJP almost on equal footing. The BJP wants to ensure that any anti-incumbency that the party is suffering in these pockets of Bengaluru, especially because of bad infrastructure and the floods that happened earlier last year, can be negated by Amit Shah's rally. And the BJP has mobilized from population from large parts of southeast Bengaluru to attend this rally to ensure that there's a buzz that gets created and the BJP can encash on it, and all the stigma of the floods and the bad roads and bad infrastructure can be in some way negated, and the BJP can emerge victorious in Bengaluru. Remember, it's almost an equal fight between the BJP and the Congress in Bengaluru every time.
Harish, what kind of candidates the BJP has put up in the city of Bengaluru? Are there new faces? What has been the strategy really like? Have they hedged their bets?
Well, constituencies that the BJP believes it's strong, it has gone in with the sitting MLA.
Yeah.
Only in a few constituencies where there is anti-incumbency, for example, Mahadevpura.
Yeah.
That's the area that saw floods last year, and it's seen as the IT belt. A lot of basic infrastructural issues there, and the people were miffed with the MLA. So they've changed that MLA and given it to his wife, and they're hoping that she can retain that seat that was represented by her husband, Arvind Limbadli. That's one strategy that the BJP has gone in for. And in Chamrajpet, a seat that's dominated by minority population, the BJP is hoping that the former Bengaluru Police Commissioner Bhaskar Rao can make magic and get that seat for the BJP. It's still an uphill task for them. But the fact that there are several senior leaders of the Congress from Bengaluru, the likes of Ramlinga Reddy, KJ George, Dinesh Kundu Rao, who managed to retain their seat because of their goodwill that they enjoy with people and the hold that they have over the constituency, makes it difficult for the BJP to change too much in Bengaluru. It's perhaps only 4 or 5 seats out of the 28 seats from the city that could change in this election, is the assessment of political analysts.
It's the assessment of the political analysts. The city of Bengaluru, let's talk about the urban centres, which many argue, Harish, have been the stronghold for the BJP. They would want to retain these centres. As far as the campaigning and the narrative of the party in urban areas is concerned, is it consistent with the overall narrative? Because at least in the mainstream media, in the state media as well, you know that better. The civic issues, the potholes, the various kind of problems that the cities have faced have dominated the headlines.
Well, although the BJP wants to ensure that the overall narrative is the one that will be prevalent in Bengaluru as well, but they haven't managed to really ensure that people buy that argument. We've seen multiple meetings that we've gone, some of the meetings that the BJP had organized with the RWS and various other groups. People have persistently asked the BJP questions about infrastructure, questions about city governance, and the mechanism that needs to be put in place. And none of them really talking about Hindutva, nobody talking about the Uniform Civil Code, or perhaps even the larger narrative of communal issues that we have seen over the last year or so. None of it came to the fore. All of them are asking about roads, increasing the local public transport, the BMTC. They're asking about how the government can enable the apartment welfare associations. All these are the questions that are coming in the meetings that the BJP is organizing and even the Congress is organizing. So the BJP at the booth level is talking about, for example, if you take Jayanagar, you have the BJP saying that the Jayanagar's MLA, Congress MLA, Soumya Reddy has been missing in action. They're calling her Rahul Gandhi Part 2. So they're trying to ensure that there's a tailor-made campaign for each of these constituencies wherever they felt that the larger narrative is not really being taken in by the general population, the voters of that constituency.
Jai Shri Ram, Jai Bajrangbali, those are the chants that I hear from the city of Bengaluru. Of course, the factor and the persona of Prime Minister Modi is something that at least in big cities, BJP would want to harp on to. How crucial are these factors in the political narrative of the BJP?
Well, they are crucial for two reasons. Yeah. In many constituencies, the BJP doesn't really fit in if you look at the traditional caste calculation. And the BJP loses out every time caste comes into equation in Karnataka. That's primarily the reason why they're not able to make inroads into Old Mysuru region, where they do not have a strong Vakaliga leader. Similarly, in Bengaluru, they do not have a strong leader in several constituencies. They do not have anyone who can challenge someone like Ramlinga Reddy in the BTM layout constituency. Or they can't get anyone who can defeat Zamir Ahmed in Chamrajpet. The BJP says the demography there is against them, whether it's the minority population in Chamrajpet and Pulikeshin Nagar, or the Reddys and others who are present in big numbers in BTM. This demography goes against the BJP, and the BJP knows very well that if they fight this election in Bengaluru on caste lines, there is no way they can grab anywhere more than 15 seats. And the party understands that for them to form the government, they need to get a lion's share of Bengaluru's 28 seats, and that's primarily the reason why you're hearing these slogans. And the party wants to fight it on two issues. One, the issue that's coming up over the last
काफी जन समर्थन उमड़ पड़ा है, हजारों लाखों की संख्या में बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता, बीजेपी के समर्थक उमड़ पड़े हैं। हजारों लाखों की संख्या में गृह मंत्री अमित शाह अभिवादन स्वीकार कर रहे हैं अपने कार्यकर्ताओं का, और कार्यकर्ता भी पूरे जोशो खरोश के साथ उनका स्वागत यहाँ पर कर रहे हैं। फूलों की बारिश हो रही है। गृह मंत्री जी फूलों की बारिश अपने कार्यकर्ताओं पर करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, यानी कि जोश पूरा जोश बढ़ाने का काम गृह मंत्री अमित शाह कर रहे हैं। अमित जी, ये जन समर्थन अपनी तस्वीर बयां कर रहा है कर्नाटक के चुनाव की।
जी, निश्चित रूप से ये बता रहा है कि कर्नाटक में पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनने जा रही है।
अमित जी, जय श्री राम के नारे लग रहे हैं, लेकिन कांग्रेस ने घोषणा पत्र जारी किया है कि बजरंगियों पर प्रतिबंध लगा दिया है।
देखिए, कांग्रेस 80 से दशक से एपीसमेंट की पॉलिटिक्स कर रही है। पहले भगवान श्री राम को ताले में बंद किया, अब उनको बजरंगबली के नाम से भी परहेज। मुझे लगता है कर्नाटक की जनता इसका जरूर चुनाव में उनको जवाब देगी।
मुस्लिम आरक्षण को कहा कि सरकार आ जाएगी तो मुस्लिम आरक्षण फिर से वापस लाएंगे।
मुस्लिम आरक्षण संविधान विरोधी है, कोई ला नहीं सकता और संविधान सम्मत नहीं है। धर्म के आधार पर आरक्षण हमारे संविधान के अंदर इसका प्रोविजन ही नहीं है, और कांग्रेस की सत्ता ही नहीं आने वाली है तो कहां से वो वापस।
एक अंतिम सवाल आप पर निशाना साधा कि फ्री की रेवड़ियां बीजेपी बांट रही है, फ्री की रेवड़ियां बांटकर जनता को लुभाने का काम कर रही है।
बीजेपी ने क्या
अमित शाह जो कह रहे हैं कि मुस्लिम तुष्टीकरण कर रही है और जनता समझ गई है, लेकिन कर्नाटक में बीजेपी की सरकार ही आएगी। कैमरा पर्सन केडी के साथ जितेंद्र शर्मा, बेंगलुरु, इंडिया।
Well, that was an exclusive conversation with our sister channel, and my colleague speaking there with Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who is campaigning in Bengaluru right now. He had also earlier spoken to my colleague Harish Upadhyay, and in both these conversations while campaigning, there is one issue that the Union Home Minister continues to highlight, which is the issue of Muslim reservation, how it is an unconstitutional facet which was earlier implemented by the government, by the Congress government, and the BJP did away with it. Right now there's a legal battle that ensues at the Supreme Court, but the BJP, politically speaking, from a policy point of view, is opposed to Muslim reservation. As Harish was pointing out, if the caste equations and the caste mathematic and arithmetic in the city of Bengaluru is to be taken into account, the BJP faces a lot of challenges. The vote consolidation is something that works in the favor for the BJP, and that's exactly what the BJP would want to propel with the kind of campaigning that the top leader of the BJP, Home Minister Amit Shah, is doing right now. With these roadshows, you can see Tejasvi Surya, other leaders of the BJP also present right now in the city of Bengaluru, campaigning indeed in full swing. Let's move on. There's some breaking news coming in, shifting our focus to that. And this is some news coming in as far as liquor policy scam is concerned. After ED charge sheet mentions Raghav Chadda, he clarifies that he's not mentioned as an accused or a suspect. Well, that's a known fact that as a part of the entire investigation, that the name of Raghav Chadda appears in that ED charge sheet, but nowhere has he been mentioned in the column of the accused. And that's a position which is legally known, and that's what Raghav Chadda is reiterating. Let's try and listen it.
मैं साफ करना चाहता हूं कि मेरा नाम इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट की किसी भी कंप्लेंट में एक अक्यूज्ड के तौर पर या एक सस्पेक्ट के तौर पर कहीं नहीं है। अक्यूज्ड और सस्पेक्ट तो छोड़ दीजिए, बतौर विटनेस भी मेरा नाम कहीं नहीं है। लेकिन पूरे देश भर में सुबह से प्रचार किया जा रहा है न्यूज चैनल्स के माध्यम से कि न जाने मुझे अभियुक्त के तौर पे, अक्यूज्ड के तौर पर चार्जशीट में इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट ने मेरा नाम शामिल कर कोर्ट में दायर किया गया है। यह सरासर गलत है।
Cutting across to my colleague Ananya Bhatnagar. Ananya, while what Mr. Raghav Chadda is saying is legally correct, I think it's pertinent right now to talk about the ED charge sheet and in what context is Mr. Raghav Chadda mentioned.
Well, you know, both these prosecution complaints have been filed. The second prosecution complaint and the third prosecution complaint that has been filed by, in fact, the Enforcement Directorate into this particular case actually show and mention the name of Raghav Chadha, wherein in the statements of Mr. C. Arvind, who was the then secretary of Mr. Manish Sisodia, and he has said that there was a meeting at Mr. Manish Sisodia's residence where, in fact, Raghav Chadha was present, and importantly, along with Raghav Chadha, there were officials of the Punjab Excise Department and various other people who were related, in fact, to the Punjab group were actually there. And that's the exact, statement and where actually Raghav Chadha finds his name in these particular two prosecution complaints. These are the statements of C. Arvind, though he has not been named as an accuser or witness into this particular case, but definitely his name has cropped up into this particular charge sheet. Whether or not the investigation agency would go on and interrogate him in this particular case is something that we'll have to wait for that, because it's completely the prerogative of the investigation officer and the investigation agency as to whether or not they want to actually quiz somebody with regards to a certain price. But we have to remember that Raghav Chadha at that point of time was in charge of the Punjab of the Aam Aadmi Party, and that's the reason why, in fact, he remains to be a key player when it comes to the political circle of the Aam Aadmi Party, and that's the reason why, in fact, the investigation agencies can go on. But saying that, he's not completely named in this particular charge sheet is something that is clearly wrong, because at the same point of time, he finds his name in the statement of a very, very important witness, Mr. C. Arvind, whose statements have been very, very important, whether we talk of Manish Sisodia, whether we talk of the questioning of Arvind Kejriwal, because C. Arvind has revealed a lot of facts, including that of the GOM, how the GOM used to function, and how there was a magical change in the liquor policy where 6% was made 12% after a meeting took place at Arvind Kejriwal's residence. Right. Such meeting actually took place at...
So let's see how that really transpires. As far as the legal position is concerned, yes, he's mentioned in the statement of certain witnesses who have been taken into record. More importantly, certain accused who have now turned into approvers. But yes, he's not an accused at this point in time. The option is open for any agency to investigate him at a later point in time if there is evidence against him. We'll continue tracking that story and much more. Right now, slipping into a very short break.
It's not a campaign speech. You're rattling off stuff.
No, people should know.
No, of course people should know. You can.
Just give me one
spokesperson after spokesperson is going on TV, and none of them are talking about what you're talking about. They're all talking about Nalayak Beta and Zahirila Sam. Why is that?
Zaka, I am the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and in that capacity, may I speak, Zaka?
One second,
Zaka, I am the national spokesperson, and I believe that the people of Karnataka need to know that the unemployment rate in Karnataka is 2.1%. In Rajasthan, it is 20% plus. The sugarcane FRP was increased by 10,000 rupees per ton by us. MSP of tur dal was increased by 50%, ragi by 138%. I want to ask Aishwarya Mahadev, during her period, today we are giving 10,000 rupees to farmers, 254 lakh farmers. How much did she give? And the reason why we are bringing that Nalayak Beta up is because their leaders, because they have nothing to show about what they've done in Karnataka or in any other government, they abuse us, and we call that out. But Zaka,
one second. I need to go. I need to go to two others. There are two other guests. Let me go to Prakash Belwadi first. Prakash, it comes back to a very simple, fundamental question, and that is, as far as I'm concerned, any voter anywhere in Karnataka or any state, anywhere in the country should be asking himself or herself a very simple question. Has my life changed for the better in the last 5 years? If it has, there is a case to vote back the incumbent government. If it hasn't, then there is no case to vote back the incumbent government. Other than this, everything else is just surround sound, whether it is freebies, whether it is communal attacks, whether it is personal attacks. Is that how a majority of the people in Karnataka are seeing this? That all of this is just surround sound between the politicians? Ultimately, has the lot of the people improved?
Zaka, you've been in Bangalore before, and you know that, Bangalore is miles ahead in terms of development compared to the rest of Karnataka. Everybody aspires to be in Bangalore. All the most important revenue generating economic power of Karnataka is Bangalore. It's really sad. There's not another city with a population in excess of 1 million in Karnataka. And that there is a real problem there. And I think when you say how will people of Karnataka react, it is very different in how people will react in Bangalore and how in the rest of Karnataka they will react.
Shehzad, so in the last week or so, it's more personal attacks, it is attacks against the Prime Minister, etc., which seems to be taking center stage, not so much issues or livelihood issues which matter to the people of Karnataka. Is the BJP making this into a highly vocal, personalized campaign so that you can sort of negate the negative effects of this 40% Commission Sarkara, which is the Congress's main plank against your government?
Zaka, from the beginning of this campaign, you can see that the Prime Minister, the Chief Minister and the government of Karnataka, the BJP, is going with a list of achievements. There were just 2 airports in 2014. Today there are 7. There was just 7 kilometers of metro rail line. Today there's 56 kilometers. It's whether it's the STRR, whether it's the Kempegowda Terminal 2 airport, whether it's the Bengaluru-Mysuru Expressway, whether it's development funds, which were just 94,000 crores during the UPA's time. Today it's 2,26,000 crores, whether it's number 1 in FDI for Karnataka, whether it's the completion.
Welcome back, and let's talk about the battle for the state of Karnataka as it continues to intensify as we get closer to the 10th of May. A day after BJP released its manifesto, now you have the grand old party, the Congress Party, which has released its tall promises. Now, interestingly, the Congress Party in its manifesto said something that has triggered a huge political controversy. They promised to ban Bajrang Dal. They said like there's a ban on organizations like PFI, they would go ahead and ban Bajrang Dal. Now, after this promise was made, there is a political controversy as expected that has started. The party, the Congress Party, also stated that they will increase the ceiling of reservation from 50 to 75%, something that is also legally contested. Meanwhile, the BJP has slammed the Congress decision to ban Bajrang Dal, calling it appeasement politics. Prime Minister Nandra Modi also attacked the opposition and said that earlier the Congress had problems with the chants of Jai Shri Ram. Now they have a problem with Lord Hanuman as well. Clearly, now religion has taken the center stage in the political narrative of the poll-bound state of Karnataka.
मेरे लिए हनुमान जी की पवित्र भूमि को नमन करना ये बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है, लेकिन दुर्भाग्य देखिए, जब मैं आज हनुमान जी की पवित्र भूमि को प्रणाम करने के लिए आया हूं, उसी समय कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग बली को ताने में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है। पहले प्रभु श्री राम को ताने में बंद किया और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को ताने में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया है। यह देश का दुर्भाग्य है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी को प्रभु श्री राम से भी तकलीफ होती थी और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों से भी तकलीफ हो रही है।
There is a ceiling imposed by the Supreme Court of India. The ceiling, the reservation shall not be beyond 50%. Now we wanted to amend the constitution and to make it 75% in order to accommodate all categories, OBC, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, Lingaites, Okligas, Muslims. So we have to accommodate all these people. We have to increase. There is no other goal except to increase the ceiling.
Well, you heard from the Prime Minister and the response coming in from the Congress Party. My colleagues tracking the story from the ground. Here's a ground report that my colleague Zakir Jacob gets for you, decoding the pulse of Karnataka politics.
The Congress releasing its manifesto today and promising that it will ban the Bajrang Dal along with the PFI, thereby trying to draw an equivalence between the Bajrang Dal and the PFI. Here's a quick explainer as to why this could potentially be a turning point in this election. Now, most average voting public doesn't really care about the extended Hindutva organizations like Bajrang Dal or VHP. But what this could potentially do is actually enthuse the cadre of the extended Sangh Parivar organizations like the Bajrang Dal and the VHP, because this gives them a rallying point, a point that they could galvanize around. So far, this election has been rather, emotionless, some would say even issueless. There was no one issue that was galvanizing the Sangh Parivar and its extended affiliate organizations. But now that the Congress has said that they could ban the Bajrang Dal if they are voted to power, this could give them a rallying point. Remember, many of these extended Sangh Parivar organizations, Bajrang Dal, VHP, etc., had not been very enthused with the Bommai government because they had felt that a lot of their cadre were getting targeted by, they were getting killed by PFI and other extremists on the other side. And the feeling among them was that the Bommai government was not doing enough. But now, with this, the decision taken by the Congress to ban the Bajrang Dal, this could potentially give a rallying point for these organizations in an election so far, which has been rather emotionless and issueless.
All right, let's take this question to our team of reporters who are tracking this story from the ground, telling us how Karnataka is thinking, what its political fate is going to be, and when they cast that ballot on the 10th of May, what is the choice that the people are going to make? Joining us on the broadcast is my colleague Harish Upadhyay, Pallavi Ghosh and also Akshara, who are joining us live from Bengaluru. Ritu, my colleague, is also joining us from the Karnataka-Goa border, getting us a sense of how people are thinking there. Pallavi, first to you. After travelling to different parts of Karnataka, this is, many would say, the last leg of campaigning which is going on. There are, burning issues which are being raked up. Today we saw Jai Shri Ram, Jai Bajrangbali, the ban of Bajrang Dal being talked about by the Congress Party. In which direction is it headed? Is it too late for the narrative to shift? Or as you always say, it's never too late in politics?
Well, it is never too late in politics, and I think just like in exams, we wait for the last 24 hours to kind of prepare for exams. I think it's the last 2 to 3 days which really becomes the clincher, so to say. At least that's the calculation on which where the BJP and the Congress are working upon. But more than that, I think the Congress has tried to be extremely careful as far as these state elections are concerned, not wanting to raise any issue which they fear could lead to polarization or something which could actually divert attention from what has been their core electoral slogan, which is the 40% Sarkara Commission charges against the Bommai government. They're everywhere they're going, they're talking about the development mantra, that anyone who can offer a clean and clear governance is actually the Congress party. But on a day like today, when the manifesto was finally released by the Congress, the fact that the Bajrang Dal's ban entered into a Congress manifesto, and we've seen how leader after leader, led by, of course, the Prime Minister himself, has actually got an ammunition now to lead to this polarization. But more importantly, Anusha, it's not just about the state election. See, the Karnataka election becomes important for both the political parties, particularly for the Congress, because they would see that as a stepping stone to recover some of the lost ground for 2024 Lok Sabha elections. But what happened today in the manifesto and the way the BJP is playing it up, I think that is also a long-term narrative which the BJP will use against the Congress party of being an anti-Hindu party. The consolidation of the Hindutva vote bank is something which the BJP is going to be calculating upon, not just in Karnataka, but also in the national picture. And to that extent, the Congress manifesto, in which, it actually had some quite good points. But unfortunately for the Congress party, it's their ban on the Bajrang Dal, which has now become the focus of attention.
The focus and in attention right now. Harish, coming to you. Some time ago when we were chatting over Home Minister Amit Shah, the roadshow he was doing, the city of Bengaluru, and how if the caste equations were to be taken into account, well, there could be some challenges for the BJP. Do you think this is a self-goal of sort by the Congress party? Because if they talk about banning Bajrang Dal, then if you have any degree of political maturity, you would know that it could backfire. It could be one of the issues that the BJP will take up. And a lot of other local issues that the Congress party may have wanted to highlight somehow seem to have gone on the back burner. At least that's what the BJP would want to do.
Well, this whole issue of banning Bajrang Dal, has it really turned the election in favor of BJP? That's probably still too early and too sweeping statement to make. But what it definitely has done is that it's given an option for the BJP to hijack the narrative and set it to a narrative that it suits the BJP. Now, over the last 5 days, imagine you have Senior Karge making that statement, calling the Prime Minister a poisonous snake, then Junior Karge calling him a useless son. Now, today, the manifesto saying we'll ban organizations like Bajrang Dal. It has given the BJP, the Prime Minister, to talk about an issue they're comfortable fighting the election on. The Congress all along wanted to fight this election on corruption, on the failure of Bomai's government, the 40% Sarkara, the PCM campaign, and the terrible infrastructure of Bengaluru and other urban pockets of Karnataka. But over the last 5 days, that hasn't happened. Now the question is, can the Congress really pull back the narrative to what it wants it to be or around these issues? Well, the time is too less. Remember, the campaigning will have to end around 8, so we do not have too much time. Can the Congress ensure that this can once again become the headline, and once again you remind the people that these are the issues that you need to vote on? That is a challenging task for the Congress. And remember, the BJP is a very well-oiled machinery as far as election campaigning is concerned, and they are unlikely to leave this anytime soon. The Prime Minister is here today, he's here tomorrow, and you can expect him and Amit Shah to remind the people about these issues every time they address them.
Well, Harish, I agree with you that, to say that these issues or raising these issues for the BJP has shifted the focus or the narrative in their favor, too early to say. But indeed, this is some tweaking that the Congress party would want to do, as they would want the local issues to dominate, because that's what benefits them in this election if they're the key contender. I want to cut across to my colleague Akshara as well. Akshara, Home Minister Amit Shah is campaigning in the city of Bengaluru. The urban centres we've been talking about, how they are a stronghold of the BJP. Which are the key areas in which Home Minister or his rally is going to pass through? And in the urban pockets, what is the message that the BJP is taking to the people?
Well, you see, right now, today, Amit Shah was passing through this particular Jayanagar constituency, and also which surrounds the BTM layout as well, where Congress has a stronghold. Congress MLA there, and his son, and his daughter Soumya Reddy, and her father Ramlinga Reddy have a good stronghold there, who have been winning consecutive terms there. So right now, the rally is going on there. And here in Bengaluru, there are many infrastructural woes the citizens were facing. So these are the issues that the BJP is trying to highlight as well. On the other hand, you're also getting to see people, supporters wearing saffron shawls and shouting Jai Shri Ram and Jai Bajrang Bali as well. This comes with the backdrop of the Congress's poll promise that they will be banning the Bajrang Dal as well. Even that is taking the center stage in this particular roadshow. So clearly, BJP is also trying to change the narrative, shift the narrative from these issues to the main issue, the ban of the Bajrang Dal right now here in Bengaluru, and I'm pretty sure that it will become a rallying point for the BJP to ensure that they cash on this.
Ritu is live with us from the Karnataka-Goa border. Ritu, you're reporting from the border regions and those villages. Tell us about the issues predominantly in those areas, which are going to decide how people are going to cast their votes. Because at the end of the day, people and what the local issues concern them determine how they cast their votes. At least that holds true for a state like Karnataka till this point. What are the issues you have heard from people? What is it that is resonating on the ground?
Well, you see, as CNN News 18 is on the ground trying to understand what is the mood of the voters and what they really think about the kind of narrative that has been played out by both BJP, Congress especially. And of course, we do know that the JDS is constantly sticking to a local issues, trying to address them and also popularizing those issues and telling them what would be the remedy that the party would be doing it if they are voted back to the power. But meanwhile, you see here in the most of the border areas, or for that matter, the rural areas, that the locals really say that doesn't matter what the kind of manifesto that Congress and BJP has put out. What they are really concerned about is the kind of schemes that these both the parties are planning for. Most of that, the kind of manifesto, the promises that both the parties are making is nowhere actually addressing their issues. There is one or the other ideology that the party is sticking to. Well, they really do not need that at this point in time. The development is very much important, and also that many localites also say that there are still such kind of an infrastructure that are built by the British, and today they are all at a stage that they might collapse at any point in time, but there's no one who will address those issues. Every time that the local representative, the public representative promises that if he's voted and if he wins in that constituency, then he would be building those structures and bring a lot of development as well. But 5 years down the line, there's nothing that has been really done for them. So what, moreover, the voters really have to say that doesn't matter that what the BJP and the Congress is planning for, but this time they are really looking for a change.
Looking for a change and local issues, how development is very important for a lot of communities involved into different kind of local trades. Pallavi, my last question to you, if you were to sum up the narrative so far in the battle for Karnataka, what would that summing up be? And there's an interesting point that you had earlier raised, that caste for, say for the north of the country in UP, Bihar matters a lot, but caste is a huge decisive factor even in a state like Karnataka. How big that factor really is, and how are the various political parties trying to be on the right side of this particular factor?
See, whether it's been the distribution of tickets, whether it's been the campaign, whether it's on the on-ground work, the caste is a reality which cannot be wished away, neither by the JDS nor by the Congress or even by the BJP. I'm just going to give you a quick example of the Hubli-Dharwad area. And I was talking to a senior Congress leader at the manifesto release function, and I said, how hopeful are you of the Jagdish Shettar factor? They said, we are not so sure whether he's going to win. But the point
and Pallavi, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you there and, interrupt this interesting discussion that we are happening right now. There's a power play which is happening in the state of Maharashtra. Ajit Pawar is speaking.
त्याच्यानंतर आम्ही काही लोक वर बसलो. त्या बसल्यानंतर पुन्हा आम्ही ठरवलं की तुम्ही काही आता उठायला तयार नाही, म्हणून पवार साहेबांनी स्वतः फोन करून सुप्रिया सुले स्पीकरवर तुम्हाला ऐकवण्याचा प्रयत्न केला. तरी देखील आपला हट्टीपणा आपण सोडला नाही. तो तुमचा अधिकार आहे, त्याबद्दल मला काही बोलायचं नाही. त्याच्यानंतर आम्ही काही जण त्याच्यात विद्या चव्हाण असतील, वंदना चव्हाण असतील किंवा बाकीचे सगळे अनेक, भुजबळ साहेब होते, दिलीप पाटील होते, सुनील तटकरे होते, धनंजय मुंडे होते, रोहित पवार होते, चेतन तुपे होते, प्रफुल पटेल होते, त्याच्यामध्ये अशोक पवार होते, शेखर निकम होते, असे बरेच जण, जितेंद्र आव्हाड होते. आम्ही सगळेजण, आम्हाला माहिती नाही, तो आपापल्या परीनं सिल्वर ओकला गेला. सिल्वर ओकल्यानंतर आम्ही सगळ्यांनी पवार साहेबांना सांगितलं की पवार साहेब, सगळ्या महाराष्ट्राची आणि सगळ्या कार्यकर्त्यांची तशा प्रकारची इच्छा आहे. साहेबांनी सांगितलं की मी निरोप दिलेला, कारण ते सगळं हे लाईव्ह चाललंय बरं का, तुम्ही जे घोषणा देत आहे ते तिथं साहेब टीव्हीवर बघतायत चॅनलला, आणि लाईव्ह चाललंय. मग त्यांनी मला, रोहितला आणि भुजबळ साहेबांना सांगितलं, सुप्रियाशी काही गोष्टी ते फोनवर बोलले आणि त्यांनी सांगितलं की तुम्ही आता तिथं जाऊन माझा निरोप द्या. ते म्हणाले की मला माझा निर्णय आता मी दिलेला आहे, परंतु तुमच्या सगळ्यांच्या
Sharad Pawar has said that I have given my decision. But since you all have made this request, it will take me 2 to 3 days to think about your request.
आपलं दैवतच म्हणतंय की 2-3 दिवस द्या. मात्र
We consider him our God. Now our God is only telling us to wait for 2 to 3 days.
जायचं. ते म्हणाले की इथं
So please go back to your own home.
दिसलेला हट्टीपणा करताना
He has said that he doesn't want to see even one karyakarta around here.
नाश्ता पाणी जेवण खावण जे काही असेल ते करायचं. ते म्हणाले तुम्ही जर बसलेला दिसला तर मी माझा निर्णय बदलणार नाही. त्याच्यामध्ये
He has said that if you do anything like that, I will not change my decision.
तर महाराष्ट्रामध्ये उस्मानाबादच्या जिल्हाध्यक्षांनी राजीनामा दिला, बुलढाण्याच्या जिल्हाध्यक्षांनी राजीनामा दिला. हे राजीनामे
We want to tell the media as well
पाहिजे. त्यांनी असंही सांगितलं की मीडियाच्या मार्फत
that
महाराष्ट्रातल्या कार्यकर्त्यांना सहकार्यांना आव्हान,
the way the resignations have been happening in the party organization, that has to stop right away.
चर्चा करून आम्ही त्यांना म्हणालो की सर, ते म्हणाले की हे तसं सांगून त्यांनी सगळ्यांनी माझ्या म्हणण्याला प्रतिसाद दिला पाहिजे. माझ्यावर जर ते सगळे अवलंबून असतील,
He has said that everyone should give a response to his request.
माझी, सुप्रियाची, भुजबळ साहेबांची आणि रोहितची, आमची चौघांची तुम्हाला विनंती आहे की आता तो हट्टीपणा बरोबर नाही. अंकुशराव, तुम्ही पण इथं आहात, बाकीचे पण अनेक कार्यकर्ते इथं आहेत, तुम्ही सगळेजण. मी
We are all here. All these party workers are also here.
मात्र ते म्हणले मला
Everyone needs to go back to their house.
देशातनं फोन येत आहेत, राज्यातनं फोन येत आहेत, काही जाऊन तिथं त्या ठिकाणी भेटत आहेत. ते म्हणले की मला आता हे सगळ्या गोष्टीचा विचार करण्याच्या करता 2-3 दिवस लागतील.
Everyone is trying to go and meet him, but he has said that he needs some time to think through this.
अश्रू अनावर झाले, काहींनी आपली आपली भूमिका मांडली, काहींना
People have got emotional.
त्या पदावरून बाजूला गेले तर आम्हाला कोण बाधित राहणार वगैरे वगैरे या सगळ्या गोष्टींचा त्यांनी पण खूप गांभीर्याने या गोष्टी घेतलेल्या आहेत. माझी खरोखरच विनंती
He has considered all these things very seriously.
मला रोहितला सांगितलं तुम्ही जावा, सुप्रियाला पण फोनवर बोलले, म्हणजे तिला बाजूला घेऊन पण काही गोष्टी बोला आणि त्या
He has spoken on phone as well to Supriya Sule.
सगळ्यांना पवार साहेबांच्या परिवारातल्या जीवाभावाच्या कार्यकर्त्यांना दिलेला आहे. जीवाभावाच्या
He has sent this message to his family, to his dear party workers.
आपल्या महाराष्ट्राची जी संस्कृती आहे, परंपरा आहे, त्या परंपरेला कुठं बाधा येईल, आपल्या साहेबांना कुठं त्रास
Our political culture.
एवढा मी निरोप देऊन
That culture should not be disturbed.
सोडायला तयार नाही. असं जर झालं तर ते म्हणजे तुम्ही हत्ती येणार, तुम्ही माझेच कार्यकर्ते, मी डबल हत्ती मग तर म्हणजे मी ऐकणारच नाही, असं त्यांनी सांगितलेलं आहे. तो निरोप आणि त्याला साक्षीदार
This is the message he has sent to all of us.
रोहित एक असं आम्ही तिघं होतो आणि आम्हाला तिघांना इथं पाठवलं. बाकीचे सगळे जण
That is why he has sent.
हिंदी में भी बता दीजिए दादा. कार्यकर्ता को संबोधित करें.
जीवावर आम्ही त्यांच्याशी तर बोलू द्या. काय मला कळत नाही.
सगळ्यांना विनंती आहे, दादा परत जाऊन आलाय. 2 दिवस साहेबांना विचारण्याचा अधिकार आहे का नाही. माझी विनंती
दोन्ही मोबाईल चला ट्रायपॉड
that repeated requests have been made to Mr. Sharad Pawar and the entire party considers him like a god. There are repeated requests that have been made to the veteran leader to reconsider his decision. There are other senior leaders from the Congress and from other opposition parties who have been earlier in alliance with the NCP who went ahead and met Sharad Pawar and requested him to reconsider his decision. The entire statement that Ajit Pawar made, apart from what he has said, is also a testament to the fact that he stands with Sharad Pawar and also trying to dispel the rumors that there is any kind of rift between the uncle and the nephew. Well, this story is far from over. This saga continues. The Maharashtra power tussle, especially within the NCP. We'll continue tracking that story and much more. Right now, a very quick break.
Railways, you gave 4,000 crores in the last 5 years. We gave 7,500 crores, 15,000 crores for the suburban rail project, 12 minor ports. Apart from that, we gave 7 model universities, IIT at Raichur and at Dharwad, 1.5 lakh tablets, 8,000, these are tablets for students, 8,700 crores for scholarships. Sugarcane FRP was increased from 22,000 to 23,000. Just one last point.
I'm sorry. I don't interrupt, but you know, this is not a campaign speech. You're rattling off stuff.
No, people should know.
Of course people should know.
But
spokesperson after spokesperson is going on TV, and none of them are talking about what you're talking about. They're all talking about Nalayak Beta and Zahirila Sam. Why is that?
Zaka, I am the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and in that capacity, may I speak, Zaka?
One second, Aishwarya.
Zaka, I am the national spokesperson, and I believe that the people of Karnataka need to know that the unemployment rate in Karnataka is 2.1%. In Rajasthan, it is 20% plus. The sugarcane FRP was increased by 10,000 rupees per ton by us. MSP of tur dal was increased by 50%, ragi by 138%. I want to ask Aishwarya Mahadev, during her period, today we are giving 10,000 rupees to farmers, to 54 lakh farmers. How much did she give? And the reason why we are bringing that Nalayak Beta up is because their leaders, because they have nothing to show about what they've done in Karnataka or in any other government, they abuse us, and we call that out. But Zaka,
one second. I need to go to two others. There are two other guests. Let me go to Prakash Belwadi first. Prakash, it comes back to a very simple, fundamental question, and that is, as far as I'm concerned, any voter anywhere in Karnataka or any state, anywhere in the country should be asking himself or herself a very simple question. Has my life changed for the better in the last 5 years? If it has, there is a case to vote back the incumbent government. If it hasn't, then there is no case to vote back the incumbent government. Other than this, everything else is just surround sound, whether it is freebies, whether it is communal attacks, whether it is personal attacks. Is that how a majority of the people in Karnataka are seeing this? That all of this is just surround sound between the politicians? Ultimately, has the lot of the people improved?
You know, Zaka, you've been in Bangalore before, and you know that, Bangalore is miles ahead in terms of development compared to the rest of Karnataka. Everybody aspires to be in Bangalore. All the most important revenue generating economic power of Karnataka is Bangalore. It's really sad. There's not another city with a population in excess of 1 million in Karnataka. And that there is a real problem there. And I think when you say, how will people of Karnataka react? It is very different in how people will react in Bangalore and how in the rest of Karnataka they will react.
Shahzad, so in the last week or so, it's more personal attacks, it is attacks against the Prime Minister, etc., which seems to be taking center stage, not so much issues or livelihood issues which matter to the people of Karnataka. Is the BJP making this into a highly vocal, personalized campaign so that you can sort of negate the negative effects of this 40% Commission Sarkara, which is the Congress's main plank against your government?
Zaka, from the beginning of this campaign, you can see that the Prime Minister, the Chief Minister and the government of Karnataka, the BJP, is going with the lead.
Welcome back. In talking about the poll-bound state of Karnataka, Belagavi is home to thousands of weavers. The families who have been producing different types of saris and yarns and supplying them not just in Karnataka but to other states as well. Post the pandemic, post-COVID, the weaver community has been facing a lot of issues and is in a state of crisis. They have been demanding certain assistance from the state government. Here's a special report from CNN News 18's Akshara, who spoke to the weaver community and what their demands are. Take a look.
Belagavi is a home to large number of weaver population who weave polyester and cotton. An estimate says that there are almost 13,000 weaver families in Belagavi city alone and around 1 lakh in Belagavi district. In the recent times, following a financial distress, weavers of Belagavi community and other districts staged out a massive rally with a charter of demands that needs to be met. I'm accompanied by one such weaver family. Let me quickly cut across and speak to them related to all the issues which they are facing right now and the demands which they want to be fulfilled. Sir, namaste. ಈಗ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನೋ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ನಿಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ರ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಏನೇನು ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿ.
ತೊಂದರೆ ಅಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ, ನಡೆದೈತ್ರಿ. ಈಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಅಭಯ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಸಾಹೇಬರು 5,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು. ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ 50% ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ತಂದಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಅದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಚಲೋ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು.
ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮದು?
ಬೇರೆ ಸವಲತ್ತುಗಳ ನೇಕಾರಗಳಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಭಾಳ ಅದಾವ್ರಿ ಸವಲತ್ತುಗಳ. ಈಗ SC/ST ಮಂದಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಏನು ಸವಲತ್ತು ಸಿಗ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಅವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಂದಿಗೇನು ಸವಲತ್ತು ಸಿಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ ರೀ.
ಸರ್, ಇನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಏನೇನು ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡು?
ಸರ್, ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ SC/ST ಹೇಗೆ 90% ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ಯೋಗದವರು. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಅದನ್ನು ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಓದು ಈ ಸಲ ಇಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭರವಸೆ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ಬಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಮುಂಚೆಯಿಂದ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಏನು ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅದನ್ನು ಭರವಸೆ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸುವರ್ಣಸೌಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧಿವೇಶನ ಟೈಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಮಗಳಾದ ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ನಮಗೆ ಬಂದು ಆಶ್ವಾಸನೆ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭರವಸೆಗಳನ್ನು ಈಡೇರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆಶ್ವಾಸನೆ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಲೋನ್ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಲೋನ್ದು ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ವಿಷಯ?
ಲೋನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲೈಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಲೋನ್ಗಳು ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಇವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಚರ್ಚೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಸಕರ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಧಿವೇಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಸರ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಭರವಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 0% ಸಾಲ ನಮಗೆ ನೀಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಮನವಿ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ವಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ.
ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಯು ಗೋ, ದ weaver community say that they want many other demands that needs to be fulfilled, like subsidies and the loans that needs to be provided, but the representatives have said that they will fulfill their demands and which are yet to be met, and still there you go, they are voicing out their concerns and demands, which is the major reason for the financial distress. Hopefully the representatives wake up to this and fulfill the demands.
Well, here's a special report that my colleague Ishan Wani gets for you from Srinagar. Ahead of the upcoming G20 meeting in Srinagar this month, Jammu and Kashmir administration has ordered the construction of smart bunkers in the city. The new bunkers will replace the older ones, the traditional ones, and many will undergo renovation as well. Here's a special report.
Ahead of G20 meeting this month in Srinagar city, smart bunkers are being constructed. CNN News 18 was the first channel to break the story that smart bunkers will come up in Srinagar city, and this is the first glimpse that we are giving of these smart bunkers. It has a big image of Gulmarg in summer with the G20 logo, One Earth, One Family, One Future. Under smart city, they are being constructed. 44.44 lakh rupees is being spent to construct these bunkers because the government wants to give a positive image of Kashmir Valley. Now I'll ask my camera person Bashir Loan to also show you that one of those bunkers is being made on my left hand side. Now the traditional bunkers which had sandbags outside are being replaced, and this is particularly a move to ensure that a major facelift is given to these bunkers, and the government has planned to make sure that these bunkers do not give that old look because they want to show the delegates that the normalcy that has returned to Kashmir Valley. This is happening under Smart City project.
In a big move for education, the Hemant Soren-led government in Jharkhand is slated to launch 80 district-level schools of excellence which are affiliated with the CBSE. In these schools, the children will be taught in English. Post the pandemic, Soren had ordered the construction work be prioritized. The progress is also being monitored periodically by the Chief Minister.